Yo, what's goody?
What's going on?
Yo, I like the new background.
Yo,
Looks
it's dope, right? What
yeah, it
y'all
looks
think
mad
about it,
clean.
chat? What y'all think? That's our new logo. Let's chat about it.
The joint look mad modern. I was just looking at it like, yeah, this looks good. I like the
Yeah,
white background.
it's a fact, bro. You know
It
what I'm
looks fresh,
saying?
right?
We gotta start putting a stamp on our shit, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
With episode
That's
7,
right.
we gotta start, you feel me?
That's right, man.
It's a
Oh
fact.
yeah.
How was your week?
Well, and U.S. About the million. So what is up, man? How's your week?
My week was good, man. You know, blessed. Did the things I love to do as always, you know what I'm saying? Make sure
Good.
that we got on YouTube, you know?
Yeah.
So
Word.
for
Good
those,
looking on that. Hit
you
the
know,
mat
for
up.
those that miss our live, we now have a YouTube channel where we're gonna be posting the episodes. That way, y'all could go and check those out for whenever y'all can't make it to the live, because we understand that everybody has things they got going on, and you can't always make it to our lives. We do appreciate y'all always checking in and tapping in with us.
Word, yo.
So
Nah,
we
it
got a
looks real
lot to
good.
cover today. Definitely got a lot to cover, So yeah, I'm ready to get into it.
Hell yeah, man. I was just snacking being a fat ass, but
All good, bro. All good. So, welcome to episode 7. Let's chat about it. Your mentor Estrada.
that boy funny. What is goody? Welcome back to the show. So we got a lot, like you said, a lot to discuss about. We wanted to kick it off before we get into all the political stuff. Wanted to kick it off with some relationship stuff.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And you was talking about, you had a really good topic you actually brought up. Should you disclose your sex history with your partner and vice versa? Which I think is a great topic too, because I don't know if too many people do that now. All right, I'll start it off. With me, actually, and ended up doing that actually with my wife though. It took us some time though to really kind of get into that, but as things started getting as things started getting real, and we just also got comfortable with each other. I started disclosing some things, and it was kind of refreshing because it didn't really seem, nothing was like really in the negative about it, and I think it was also probably maybe that healthy. It wasn't too detailed, like I wasn't getting into, stupid, crazy, wild details of things, but I think it was definitely a healthy conversation. Whereas maybe if I was younger, I probably would have never had that conversation. But I think older, it didn't bother me too much.
That's a fact. That's a fact, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
For me, like, I think you should, in some, you know what I'm saying, disclose your sexual history, only because you don't want to. I feel like with me, like, I don't want to hear about some shit in the street opposed to you telling me. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? And if I hear about it in the street and I bring it back to you and it's like two different stories, it's like, now what I got to believe? I'd rather, you tell me. I don't need to know like details and everything that went down, you feel me? But at least have some type of conversation about, both sides, my history, her history. But at the same time, y'all got to have that comfortability and that, that communication. I don't feel like people that just start dating should be having those conversations, because that could like fuck up a relationship right from jump. You feel me? Like off rip, like you shouldn't be having those conversations. Within time, with the comfortability that you guys build together, and with the comfortability that y'all have in your relationship about talking about certain things, then y'all can have those conversations. But having those conversations in the beginning, I don't think it's a smart thing to do at all. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people do, some people don't like to talk about it. For me, like I said, like I will have those conversations with wifey, and we had those conversations where she knows my history, I know her history. Because like me, just for myself, I don't want to hear about no shit in the street. You feel me? Not that I have or anything like that, but you never know, bro. You know what I'm saying? When you first get into a relationship, you don't know, you just meeting this person. You just getting to know this person. You don't know what they've done, what they've been through, who they've been with, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like if you really love somebody and y'all building something strong and y'all know y'all rock solid, and it really doesn't matter about the history anyways. You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
But
right.
there should be some type of conversation, if that's
Yeah.
because I know a lot of people. I got friends that be like, hell no, I don't want to know shit. You feel me? And then I got friends that want to know every fucking detail. And I'm like, I don't want to
Oh
know every
yeah.
detail, but I at least want
Right,
to know
right.
what the fuck was going on before me. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
No,
that's
got
just
it.
that's just my take on it.
Got it. Yeah, no, I agree with that too. And plus, you also got to think of health reasons too. Like you want to know where your partner's been at least a little bit. Like you want to kind of give them the summary of like, yeah, I did this, I did that. 'Cause
It's a fact.
you want to have honesty if you were using protection during sex before them. You know, because it's health as well. If you're not clear with those things, then something could come around and bite you guys in the ass while you guys are together, and something you should have disclosed in the very beginning. So you definitely want to have that conversation. But I don't think necessarily it's a bad thing. And I think now, if anything more, couples should definitely be a little bit more honest about those type of things now, because you just never know, man. You never know, and it also gives us a sense of peace as well. Like then who you're with and who you're dealing with, because you don't know, and then some red flags do arise. Then you don't really want to be with that person. You don't want to stay with that. If you think like, oh, okay, maybe this wasn't the person for me, especially if you're just in that young
Yeah,
dating
I think
phase.
with
Maybe.
with the younger crowd, like they won't be able to handle those type of conversations because they'll just get
Oh
too
no.
mad or be too not understanding, or the young generation is naive now to certain shit. You feel me? Like they don't want to understand. Like if you're gonna ask those questions, you got to be adult about those questions. You know what I'm saying? An adult and just
That's
understand.
right.
Like everybody has a past before you, and it is what it is. If y'all building together and y'all know y'all rock solid, then y'all move on from there. Somebody had a
Right.
question. Miss MMB said, "I've been with him 7 years. I don't love him anymore because he doesn't treat me right, but he tells me he doesn't want to leave and he can't learn to love her. What do we think about that?
Mm.
He doesn't like to do things with me. Also, always arguing, but I just want to be single, no dating at all." I
Mm.
mean, not to get off subject but I will answer your question. So for me, like I was in a long relationship, before the relationship I'm in, and it's like if you stop loving somebody and you know that love is not there for that person. I feel like you could be in love with somebody and then you could love somebody, right? So like if you're in love with your partner, that means y'all locked in, everything's good. You know what I'm saying? But then you could just love your partner and not be in love with that person anymore and not wanting to be with that person anymore. You feel me? And that's okay too. For me, it's always self first. You got to make sure you happy first in your relationship. Because if you're not happy, you ain't gonna be able to make somebody else happy. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's just me. Like if I'm not happy in my relationship, and I'm in this relationship and it's just not given, then what's the point of staying in it? You understand what I'm saying? You got to put yourself first. You got to put your happiness first. You got to love yourself first before you can love anyone else. You know what I'm saying? So I can't tell you to make the choices you need to make, love, but you definitely got to put yourself first. You got something?
You know, I think definitely kudos to all of that. It's true. I think the key thing you said was just like being happy with yourself, and that's what's most important. And making sure you're happy, and play. You got to do some checks and balances in the middle of all that too, because if things ain't really adding up the way you want it to be adding up, and you feel like things was off, then again, not to make that decision for you, but if you feeling like okay, you're already getting those red flags, then maybe there's a discussion that needs to be had, and you got to put everything else on the table and say this, that, and the third. This is what's going on, even though those conversations are hard to have, and see where it goes from there, because he could, sometimes people really don't know what they be doing, and sometimes they think it's okay until you really open up your voice about it. So
Yeah.
you gotta really explore those options before making a decision like that. You know, if you don't have
It's
any
a hard,
kids or
it's
anything,
a hard decision to leave people. Not to cut you off,
it is.
Carlos. It's definitely
Yeah,
always a
yeah,
hard decision to leave people, especially when you invested so much time. That's the thing. You know,
yeah,
when you invest in people and you invest your time into, relationships and energies, it's hard to just walk away. Even
yeah,
when you fall out of love, because again, like you can love somebody, but doesn't mean you in love with that person. But it's hard to just leave that person because that's what you know for the past X amount of years. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about communication. We always talk about this when we talk about our relation segments. It's always about communication and understanding one another and just being on the same page. If y'all not communicating, then it's pretty much like that should be the top of y'all list when it comes to relationship. Being communicative and understanding towards each other's feelings. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't understand each other's feelings, understand what each other wants and needs, then the relationship is not going to go nowhere. It's just going to stay stagnant. You know what I'm saying?
that's that ass. That ass. Yeah, man, it's just like, just like you said, it's all about that communication and just making sure that shit is clear as day, bro. Because that's probably the one thing that maybe lacks. That's probably the one thing that's been lacking for years. It's like one thing you never hear that change. You know what I mean? But it's always the one, also the same solution. Like, oh, okay, communication. Make sure you have that communication.
Yeah.
So start having these difficult conversations. Because then when you get past those difficult conversations, it definitely opens up some new doors.
Yeah, facts. That's a fact.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
There
we
was somebody.
definitely can move on to our next topic.
Yeah.
Where we going with a parenting?
Yeah, right. How to deal with your child's self-esteem issues. And that was a really good topic you brought up too, because I think like for us in our generation, we lucked out towards like prior to like the 90s, but getting closer into the 2000s where it started becoming more woke in terms
Mm-hmm.
of talking to your kids as opposed to how old school parenting was. And I remember like getting closer to like the 2000s, like leaving middle school into high school, having that guidance counselor talking about self esteem. My parents maybe having those, but there was a long time we didn't have those conversations. So I really didn't understand a lot of the feelings I was having when I would
Yeah,
feel,
facts.
you know what I mean, about for me, my biggest thing when I was young was my weight issue. You know what I mean, and being that kid of a target of always being the fat kid and having that, and I just had to kind of eat that up and just because your parents never tell you the truth, but everyone else does. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
and you know how that is, and and then getting into high school, for me it was just more like I was seeking so much attention, you know what I mean? So I will always be like the class clown one. That was always my thing because I wouldn't, I wouldn't have that opportunity at home. And when in retrospect now, when I think about it, definitely if maybe my parents would have talked to me about it a little bit more, or understood it, or been more woke to it, maybe I
Mm-hmm.
probably would have those issues. And I'm definitely more because I've had those issues. I'm more in tune with my kids about it, and just
Yeah.
making sure they're not too into their head about a lot of things. Luckily, they're not. They're super confident, and I'm really grateful for that because I definitely didn't have the confidence that my daughter has at her age. She's like wow confident. I was way too too insecure
Yeah.
about myself. I think it is really important and helping your kids deal with that because there are a lot of kids that definitely have a lot going on right now.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Growing up in New York City, man, and everybody was fly, everybody was fresh, everybody, was doing things that you wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes like me, I bounced around a lot. You know what I'm saying? I was with moms, I was with pops, I was with my aunt. You know what I'm saying? So like I went through a lot of shit that I felt like I couldn't open up to people and stuff like that. And I kept it bottled in and, about the way I looked, about also my weight, because I was big at one point too. And, what I'm saying? I felt like same thing. Like when I made my transition, I grew out my hair, I got the braids, it was the new, everybody was growing their hair out. And then I started like kind of like liking myself. But for a long time, I hated myself. It was weird. It was just like I didn't want to be me, but a lot of people loved me. You feel me? Like I had a lot of friends. I could go in a room and take over the crowd, but I didn't feel like that. Like I just secretly hated myself. You know what I'm saying? And then who was I going to talk to about it? You feel me? I feel like we
Yeah.
grew up in that time where, not that our parents didn't care or anything. It was just a different time growing up. There was more stronger. I don't know. It's different. But
Yeah.
I got over it. I just did things to make myself happy, and I started always putting myself first, and started doing the things I like to do, and I just changed my whole outlook on life for myself. You know what I'm saying? I started loving myself. Always taking care of myself and just keeping myself always looking right, and then that's just made me a better person for me. Now, as far as when it comes to my kids, like, I'll keep that open line of communication with them. I'll keep it where they can be able to talk to me and tell me anything. You know, um, my kids are confident, in their own way for certain things, but then I feel like certain things they kind of like fall back and not try to tell me. So I gotta like, it's okay to because at the end of the day,
Right.
like I have my little ones that live with me, but then I have my older ones that live with their mom. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm not with them every day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But so I feel like I have to pick at certain conversations. Like, hey, it's okay to talk to daddy about this. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to put me on to these type of things. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want the last thing you want is your kid to fall into a depression or a depressed state where they feel like they can't talk to anybody and be so now what's the new thing where a lot of kids are what they call it, like not socially awkward. I'm like basically like just disconnected from everybody, and they don't want to be around.
Yeah.
They don't want to be around anybody. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that to happen to your kids. So definitely always keep a open line of communication and just love on your kids, and what I'm saying, let them know that you're there for them and big them up. For the
Hmm.
littlest things. You know what I'm saying? Because that's pretty much what it is, You got to big up your kids. You got to tell them, nah, you look good. I always tell him my 2-year-old, like, you handsome. He be like, I'm handsome. Yeah, you handsome. You know what I'm saying? You an Estrada, like, you handsome. You feel me? Like, cause you gotta big up your kids. They
Gotta pick
going
'em up.
that memory stays with them. Like my parents always told me I look good. Or you know what I'm saying? That's just gonna boost their confidence to be the best version of themselves. You understand? So you always want to big your kids up no matter what. It could be the littlest thing. Shit. They could draw a picture. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's beautiful. You could be an artist. You know what I'm saying? Big them up. Put that battery in your kids' back because that's going to just make them want to accomplish more and more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And not to say that these kids don't have it harder, but I think that what's really cool that I've noticed about this generation of our like where our kids have been in the past few years, where fitting in isn't too hard for them. Like it wasn't as grand as it was when we were kids. Like you had, you go to school, lunchroom, everyone was in their groups. You know what I mean? Whereas around this time around, I noticed, especially the past several years, I'm like, man, everyone kind of just gets along just for being themselves. Like, whereas before it was, oh, what Jordans you got, or what this and
Mm-hmm.
that. You know what I mean? Before it was so
That's how you
so
fit in. Like, oh, you got the brand new
materialistic.
J's on? Yeah, you could
Yeah,
come chill with us.
yeah,
Oh, you only
right,
got some ups on? Nah, you go chill over there with those.
right,
That's
right.
how
You
it
listen
was, though.
to
It's crazy. It was a rough
all
time
right.
for us, man. That's why I said,
Yeah.
like, you had to have certain shit on or you had to wear certain shit to just be cool. You feel me? And
Hmm.
that's why I always kind of trying to, like, you know, save my little coins here or, do this little thing there to just make sure if mom and dad couldn't get it, like, I'm outside. I'm going to go get it myself. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I wanted to be fresh. I wanted to be down. But at the end of the day, like now that I look back, it's like shit, half the people that I wanted to be cool with ain't doing shit. Like and I'm
For real.
you know what I'm saying? I'm actually doing me and I got all the shit I wanted.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
so
So
true. Like I didn't really like, by the time I felt like I definitely got better at that, like in my self confidence after high school. Like high school was pretty rough for me. And then when I got out there and I started like working for like hotels and I started getting real money and I was just like really getting my own stuff, I was like, man, this is what I wanted to be in high school. But, you know, I got it later. I was a late bloomer to it. And I was going out more and kind of just exploring the city more and hanging out at you know, different spots and really seeing what the city was like. That was like huge for me, you know, and that made me like kind of come into like the person I was, because I definitely didn't have that confidence as a kid or like in high school at all. And you know, I think it's sometimes I think for different people, different vibes, it takes certain things to, you know, certain tools that you need to help you kind of evolve in that way, like getting a good job. And like you said, you know, sometimes you see people who were way ahead of you in high school, like they had this, they had that, and then you see them now and you're like, damn, bro, like, you know, you ain't all that. You know, what was it 50 used to say? Damn, homie, in high school, you was the man.
What the fuck happened to you? That's a fact.
Yeah.
A lot of
you
people
know, like,
like, God, you was the man. You ain't shit now. Shit, half of the people I see, shit, some of them is living foul. You know what I'm saying? So
right. You know,
you know, but
you know, it's just like, yeah,
definitely just always big your kid up, man. Put that battery in their back. Let them shine all the time. They got to be a star in your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because this world is cruel, and they might go out there and somebody, you know, might downplay their shit. But at least they know at home, like, nah, that ain't true.
Yeah, right.
You feel me? Because to us, like, what we don't understand is like kids, like they come into this world, and the first people they see is their parents, right? And you know, like to us, to them, we their stars. Like we the biggest shit. They might not show it, they might not say it all the time. You feel me? But in their mind, like, you know, when they get their sight, we the mom and dad, you know what I'm saying, or the mom or the dad is the first people they see. And that's it for them, you know what I'm saying? So if you that person that's always bigging them up and always putting a battery in their back, everything else that somebody else say is not gonna matter to them, because the person that matter the most is telling them you got it, like you the shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Fuck yeah, man. And you know, and make sure that when it comes to your kids, you put, you know, you really, you know, we know this because we used to hide things from our parents. So, you know when to pick up on those signals. You see them being in their room too much or on the phone too much, check in on them, be like, hey, what's going on with you? What's you know, you gotta know when to read the signs, because if you don't know, you know, like every once in a while, my daughter, she's like me, where my daughter, she really likes her private time.
Yeah.
And then there's time I notice it could be a little bit too much, and I'm like, yo, you good? You know, you got to pop in your head and check in on them, because it also shows that you care, you know?
That's a fact, bro. That's definitely a fact. I agree with everything you said, Cuzzo, for sure.
Yeah. At least we know we're good parents for the most part.
So we ain't have no choice, man.
Yeah, man. I've seen some parents out here, man, that make me like really question. Like we had we actually had a neighbor that I want to say maybe her mom was maybe being too hard on her, and you know, kids is going to be kids. You know what I mean? And she I don't think she was definitely a bad kid. Like, you know, when you get that vibe, like, oh, that kid is fucked up. But you know, she just, you know, maybe she was just, you know. Sometimes she'll go to like a friend's house she wasn't supposed to, and I'll tell her mom, but we're all in the same complex. So, you know, it's not like you're going to a whole other neighborhood or a whole other block. And then, you know, my daughter kept saying like, man, you know, like she was getting in trouble by her mom. So her mom said that she might have to go to like her dad's house or whatever. And then the last day, I think it was like this past week, we seen her and she had like a mark on her eye. Like, you know, when her mom like really like gave her like a real bad backhand. And I was like, hey, and she came to the cars. Usually they go to the bus together. She came to the car. I was like, hey, sweetie, how you doing? She's like, oh, no, I'm okay. And I was like, what happened to your eye there? And she was just like, oh, no, well, my mom hit me because I wasn't supposed to do something. I was like, oh, okay. And then she gave my daughter Harmony a hug. She was like, this is going to be the last time I see you because I have to go to my dad's house. And I felt so bad because I was like, you know, sometimes you want to talk to parents and you want to just be like, listen, you know, like.
But you don't want to chime in because you don't know how they're going to take it. That'd be the thing.
Right. You know, I don't know the whole story. you know. But you sometimes you want to just be like, listen, you know, like it ain't that serious. Like you gotta let your kid be a kid too, you know. And
No,
I
that's a
don't think she
fact.
that, you know. But you
That's a
never know how
fact.
God works in his ways.
Speaking of that, like we was at the laundromat the other day. What's up? What's up? We was at the laundromat the other day, and there was a girl. So we sitting outside, you know what I'm saying? Because we walk to the laundromat, whatever. It's not too far, so we like to take our little walks and shit. We walked to the laundromat. I put the, you know, I had just put the clothes in the dryer. It was nice out, so we sitting out in the front with the boys or whatever. And some girl comes out her car. She's on the phone mad loud talking about how this guy effed her and all this. And he was saying all types of crazy shit to her, whatever. So I didn't even know, like, Shorty. So Shorty left her car running. I didn't know there was a kid in the car. So the whole time she's in the laundromat for a good, like, 20 minutes. So then I go back in to check on the clothes, and she comes back in with a kid. So I'm like, kid is only like 2. Had to be like 2 or 3. So I go outside. I looked at wifey, and she's like, yeah, he was in. She opened the door, and he was in there screaming and yelling. So she left the kid in the car because he was, you know, to come in. I guess put her clothes in the laundry. Then she went and got him, and then like as we leaving, she put him back in the car. But when we leaving, I'm seeing that he's sitting in the front seat, and the car is still on, bro.
Ooh,
So I'm like,
wow.
yo, this girl is crazy. Like, and me
Yeah,
as
yeah,
a parent, I wanted to tell her something, like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because, you know, she looked young and stuff like that. And I wanted to tell her, like, yo, like, one, you shouldn't have your kid in the car. Like, all the windows is closed. It's
Right,
a pretty nice day. Then you leave the
right,
fucking car. One, it don't matter if it's a nice day or not. You shouldn't leave no fucking 2 or 3-year-old in a car. No kid should be in a car by himself, period. Let me put it that way. No kid should be, unless they like freaking 10, 11, that's different. You just running in the store, but no kid should be in the car
yeah,
left alone. But at that, you
right,
leave your fucking kid in the front seat, car's running. He could have just pulled the, you know what I'm saying,
right.
the gear, the car could have
Yeah,
went. It was just straight street he would have been going
yeah,
into oncoming traffic. I don't
right.
understand, bro. I don't get
I
it.
don't get it.
Like I feel like people sometimes have kids for no purpose. To just have
Yeah,
them
man.
and to not care and watch them. Like you saying on the phone talking about what you was doing with some dude, and you got your whole kid in the car by himself.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, bro. So you know, definitely like you know, as a parent, sometimes I want to step in, but then I gotta like pump my brakes. Like
But sometimes you
you
got
know,
to. I'll tell you a really good story real quick of somebody who checked me one time on the street. And my daughter had to be around 2, 3 maybe. And yeah, she was already walking. And I was just like so into my phone at this moment. I was just like, I don't know who I was messaging, but I was just like really into my phone. And for a second, you know, my daughter would always be by my hip, but at this point she wasn't. And this really old lady said really nicely as I'm all up into my phone. She goes, "Hey, you know, your daughter's a very cute girl, very easy to be taken away." And I looked back and I seen that she was already a few feet behind me, and I just was gone. I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "I'm so sorry." And then she just looked at me. She said, "No, it's okay." She said, "But just remember," she was like, "You know, you don't know who's watching. You don't know, so pay attention." And after
that's a
that,
fact.
I was like, "Wow!" Like I couldn't believe because I prided myself so like that'll never be me. I'll never be that distracted, but I was. You know what I mean? And it took a stranger to check me, and I'll never forget that. And after that, I was like, always made sure that never like always had her at my hip, always held her hand, always even now when she's grown as hell, I'm just always double checking because I'll never forget that day.
That's a
You know what I
fact,
mean?
bro.
You have to
That's how I
remember.
be. Like even my
Sometimes
oldest, like
you need that stranger. You
my
know?
2 oldest, they know. Like I got their location, and that shit better not come off. And if it come off, we're gonna have a problem. I don't want to hear
Right.
nothing. I don't care.
I
You
gotta listen.
17, you could be fucking
Yeah.
30. That location better
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
on. You heard? Not playing with you. Like
Right.
it's a
That's funny,
fact,
man.
bro. I'm not
Yeah,
playing, but
man.
yeah, nah, you gotta love your kids, man. Love on
I
your
love you
kids,
too.
big them up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just be the parent
Pay attention.
that that's gonna be, you know, the greatness in their eyes because, you know, once a kid feels like they don't got a parent and they don't got somebody that's gonna love on them and be there for them, then it's just gonna be all downhill from there. You know what I'm saying? So love on
We've seen
equal.
that in our own family. You know what I mean? Like we got a few like that. And it's hard to see that sometimes. It's like, damn, like what could have been if their parent was just more involved. And but it fucks your mental up.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
It
Yep.
really
Somebody
do.
said that was a good topic because some of us are still learning how to be parents. That's a fact. Yeah, we always try to give, you know what I'm saying, try to let, parents know that it's okay. Like, we make mistakes as parents. Shit, I've had made plenty of mistakes as parents. But, you live and you learn, and it's just all about making sure that you there for them and you there in the right ways. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to give them that impression that you're just going to be a dictator in their life all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't remember what episode where we talked about, having that relationship where, it's okay to be the parent and be a friend to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still your parent. I'm going to, let you know that you fucking up, but I'm also be by your side. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So,
Yeah. For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. When it comes to parenting, again, there ain't no book to it. There's no. You really have to go as you go, but the most important factor is that you're there and you're attentive. Right?
and every child is different. Every child is different.
Some need more, and then some parents get blessed where some don't even need to be. They're there, but some kids are like naturally, self sufficient, and they could really. And if you're good, but that also is kudos to how good of a parent you are too. Because if you're a really good parent, then your kid could be that self sufficient because then you're teaching them the right way.
That's a fact. That's a whole fact. Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on. We got a lot to cover.
I know. Let's get into the president, the president of the United States of. I can't
Whole
believe
America.
that. Yeah, man, for real. President Trump, man, is back.
Man, listen, President Trump, man, what could I say? I don't do the politics.
No, I know.
I don't really get into the whole politic thing and things like that. This pretty much is what it's gonna be like.
Right.
My honest opinion, you know what I'm saying, the world is going to do what the world's been doing. There's racism in this world. There's hate in this world, and that's how it's been forever. It's not starting now because of him. You know what I'm saying? Some people might use that as a scapegoat, like, oh, we got Donald Trump as a president, so it's time to start being racist or start doing this. But nah, that's how they've been their whole life. They just using, the election and the presidency to start acting on how they already felt towards, certain people. And it's not okay. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I don't do the politics. I don't care for who won or who didn't. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I've always been. I don't care how anybody feels about that. But we're not going to use, because he's president now, everybody's being racist. So this is how people been. We've been going through people being racist. Everybody in their life has come across a time where they've dealt with some type of racism. Whether you're white, whether you're black, Hispanic, Indian, Chinese. It's always been, you cannot tell me that nobody in this world has dealt with a situation where they felt like somebody was being racist towards them. And I have plenty of times. And it's just the way you go about them situations, you know what I'm saying? So for me, like, I don't know if the man is racist. He hangs out with minorities, but they say that he's a super racist. I don't know. I don't know the man personally, you feel me? Yeah. But I don't feel like we should use it as a scapegoat why now people are starting to be racist, because the world's been filled with racism my whole life. You feel me? Before him and after him.
Yeah.
This next 4 years, he's going to be president, and when he leaves, the next president that come in, there's still going to be racism in this world. Because that's what it's been out forever. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take on that,
No, that's a really good take. Did you vote or did you did? Okay, and have you ever voted?
Nope.
No way. No way.
No, I tell people, and people be like, damn, but you're little. And I'll be like, yo, honestly, like, I don't feel like, and this is just me. I could probably be naive to it or whatever, but I don't feel like my little one vote is gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I do for me. I do for my family.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? None of these people come and they change my situation or my circumstance or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't get into the politics. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I hear the shit. I know about politics. I read a lot and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I watch certain shit. I watch, CNN and listen to this.
To know what you need to know.
You know, yeah, exactly. I know what I need to know.
Right.
But for me, it's just like, that's just not me. Like, I feel like politics, it gets too crazy. This is why I feel like we have so much racism and so much shit going on in this world, because, we're picking this one person to run the whole fucking damn world and country, and it's like, what?
For real. It's a lot of pressure. It's like
one person can't even fucking run a business sometimes. How they gonna run 52 states, 53 states, whatever? You feel me? Like, how? Like, come on. Like,
it's yeah, man. This isn't officially the third time I voted. My first was Obama's presidency. I voted for him. Didn't vote for when Trump, the first time he was going against Hillary. Then my second time was Joe Biden, and then this time I voted Kamala. And I got into voting because I felt like almost pressured to it. You know how big and how pressured it was, especially like vote or die. You know what I mean? When Diddy was doing it, and
look where Diddy at now.
Yeah, you feel me, right? And there was so much pressure. And I remember the first time I was like thinking about it, because I had the same stance with you, where for a long time I did not think my vote mattered. I thought it was all about, I'm very black and white with things. It's, it's also almost a show, even if my vote does count towards something, how is it really affecting me? Even the more I learn, I'm still learning new things all the time. So I did put my vote in because I was, at this point, I'm almost voting against the lesser evil. You know what I mean? And voted for Kamala so that way we couldn't have a second, time of Trump being in office. But lo and behold, he's back in, which is crazy, because this is the first time anybody in history who's been a president is a convicted felon in the sense, you know what I mean? So that's never happened. He also was able to gain more. He was able to gain the black vote more than any Republican president in history in 50 years. He's never had that.
That's what I'm saying, though, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, everybody sit here and say he's racist, he's this, he's that. But when y'all going to vote, y'all secretly voting for him. Y'all secretly voting for him. Y'all secretly on his Johnson. No homo. Like, y'all, the ones that talk about him the most is the one that's sitting here supporting him. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, everybody was saying no Trump, no this, no that. But I bet if he came in and said, yo, here's a stimmy, here's a stimmy, here's a stimmy, here's a stimmy, the hood gonna love you. Like that, and this is why, like, and at the end of the day, like, I had someone tell me before, and I think I was at one point, like, I was going to vote, and this is what they told me, like, yo, if you're not going to vote for someone to be a president, at least vote for the people that's going to be in the Senate seats, like the governors, and because they do more. They do more. They make more decisions than, to be honest, than the president do. Yeah. Appreciate y'all. You feel me? So they was like, if you're going to vote for that. At least vote for your area, vote for your, your congressmen, your senators, your mayors, your governors, instead of vote for that one person. You know what I'm saying? Because they kind of make the difference in, your community and stuff like that.
Yeah, they doing the small work. Just to get to like the numbers, 60% black votes supported Trump, up from 8% from 2020, and 42% Latinos voted Trump. 24% of black men versus 9% of black women voted for Trump. And 47% of Latino men versus 38% of Latino women voted for Trump. And of course, this was the funniest number to me. 59% of white men versus 53% of white women voted for Trump, which means it was like literally almost the same. Um,
And someone
you know,
said it's not about race or sexuality. That's what they focus on when it's his
yeah,
plans that need focus.
yeah. You know, it's
True though,
it's
and I
it's
ain't gonna front like you already hearing like you got the Chinese president, you got the Russians already talking about peace treaties and chilling, and
yeah,
they wanted
yeah.
him. You feel me? They wanted him
They
to,
wanted him.
to to be president. A lot of people did. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because everybody was like Kamala, she gonna take over, she gonna win,
Right, right.
and bro, she didn't even have a chance. Like I was checking the polls like just in and out, in and out, in and out, and he was killing her the whole time. The
He
whole
blew her
time,
out.
bro, he was killing her.
Yeah, yeah. He blew her out, and I think a lot of it
What's her
also
name?
those.
Not to cut you off. Hillary did
Yeah,
better than her.
Hillary,
Like she
Hillary
was
did.
like she was like neck and neck with him.
Yeah, she was neck and neck with him at least. But I think a lot of it also stems from America don't want a woman president as well. I think if they had to choose, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where like a lot of different arguments come from with like this whole particular presidency. A lot of people also saying like we didn't really get a full year of her campaign, and she kind of just got rushed in, and that also says a lot too, because if we did have enough maybe time to maybe really get to know her and maybe really get to see what work she could have done, that probably could have swayed some votes and swung some votes. But it was such a shit show of a campaign. It was like, damn, how do you trust a person you don't know that well? But I was still surprised that America, like even going back to choosing the lesser evil, like with everything that stemmed, and not to say like like he didn't like racism didn't start with him, but there was a lot of things during his presidency that I felt like he heightened, you know what I mean, in terms of having his word, like the whole riot shit that happened in
Mhm.
January 6th, like that shit was really him. He never want to take credit for that, but he
Yeah, of
really did.
course.
Trying to pardon the officers with the whole George Floyd thing, that was wild. And just the constant, disrespect, even before that whole PR joke with that recent comedian, but like when Puerto Rico had the Hurricane Maria joint, and he was shitting on PR in different certain ways in other countries, and we was just kind of eating it. And it's like, okay, yeah, we know, the mask came off, and we were kind of seeing it for what it was. But it's like, is America as a whole racist now? Are we just now going to just continue to allow president of the United States? Like it just seems like we're okay with that now, and
Yeah.
it's a little scary. Like I ain't gonna lie, I was a bit disappointed that he came back, because if I was in New York, I really wouldn't care as much. Only because in New York, out here, I'm really a minority, and it's so weird to say because I've never been that before. You know what I mean? So when I'm out here, I'm like, damn, I really got to step on my P's, be on my P's and Q's, and walk on eggshells, and have to really, not pay attention.
My son just banging on the
Yeah,
door, black hair.
it's okay. It's okay. And just trying to figure out, like, dang, like, how do I fit in their world? But I knew I didn't want to vote for them because I felt like the one thing that surprised me was so many Latinos that switched sides. Like I was just like, wow, like even some of my own family, really surprised the shit out of me. How they really were for him, and I'm just like, all right, I'm being optimistic, and I'm still saying, well, let's see what the work he can do, because America, at the end of the day, the vote matters, and they voted him in. So if he does do the work, let's see, because there's a lot of things we still have to see. I still am very curious to see if he really is going to bring our taxes down, if he really is going to give us everything that he's promising, which is no
Man,
taxes.
listen, he talks a big hype, so we got to see. At the end of the day.
And that's a lot to fill in. Like you can't just be saying, "Oh, I'm going to make the economy better," and then I want to see it. Like I want to see my bills go down. I really want to see gas go down.
One thing I could say is like we know him for a good businessman.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
I feel like that's kind of why a lot of people did vote for him too, because he is a great businessman. Like the motherfucker went bankrupt how many times and still a
Right.
millionaire, still a billionaire, whatever the case is. You feel me? So like, I think that's mostly why they voted for him. And again, with the whole racism shit, yeah, If he is or he isn't, you know what I'm saying? It's not the fact that, why America is racist, because America been racist, whether he was in a seat or not. And
Right,
that's just
right,
what we've been dealing with for generations and generations and generations. You know what I'm saying? The
right.
racism shit been there, you know. Everybody in their lifetime has dealt with the time where they had to deal with racism, you know? So,
Yeah, man. It's just, it's a little scary, I know there's a lot of talk going around too with, rights for, LGBTQT and, what's going on with the abortion and all that. But we really just got to see how it pans out, A lot of times, Cuzzo, I really wish I didn't give a fuck. And I really wish I could be like you and just not care about voting, because again, I'm just like, sometimes I just want to tune out. Like, after that last week, just, it wasn't even work that drained me. It was this whole election. And I was just like, man, like, I really let something that's really out of my control, even though your vote is supposed to say, oh, technically this is you having some sort of control
yeah.
and maybe you having a word in it, but something really that's out of your control. And again, like you said, is so true. How you, like, the way you move, I like that. I like your point of view on it, because it's true. It's like, you got you. That's how we have to think too. Like, we got us. Like, it's not really the government. We can't depend on the government to really fix all our problems and all that.
100%, bro. Like, at the
Yeah,
end of the day, like,
that's the best way to approach
you
it.
gotta, like, anybody in this world could be a millionaire, billionaire. It's just all about what they do and how you structure your life. You feel me? How you structure your finances, how you structure your money coming in. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, like business people, like they always like to have multiple streams of revenue, because one
Right.
revenue is not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always good to have money coming in here, money coming in there, money coming in from over there, because the more money coming in, the more you making. You know what I'm saying? And to keep it a fact, like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of these people, why they don't pay taxes, these rich people, is because they write everything off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you can fucking write off your birthday. I don't,
For
I
real.
don't, I don't think people know that, but like, not to getting off subject, but like, you can throw a party for your birthday, make the first segment of your party a business meeting or business venture, and then have the party after, and you can write that off. There's so much
Ways
shit, bro, but you gotta get the knowledge. And
Right.
me voting, they're not giving me that knowledge. I'm getting that knowledge myself. I'm reading.
Yeah.
I'm doing research. I'm listening
Yeah.
to the businessmen and women that's trying to put me on.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm
Learning
saying?
that.
So like, it's just like, again, like, I get it.
I
There's
feel
people
like
that's
after
like
this, I don't
so
think I ever want to vote
hooked
again.
on fucking presidency and politics and all
Yeah.
that and everything. And yeah, at some point, like, you got to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I say I know what I know and I know what I need to know. But for me, it's like I always been, bro. I've been the same way. I never changed. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even
Right.
like to talk about it, because for some people,
Yeah.
just like touch it. Like, I had a conversation one day at work with one of my employees. And I wasn't even talking about voting. It was just on TV. And I was like, yo, a lot of people going to vote for Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, they going to vote for him over her. And he just started, oh, nah, F him and this, that, and the third. Yo, he like really got serious. Like, cause he doesn't like the union and this, that, and the third. I'm like, yo, bro, again, I understand what you're saying. And it wasn't for you to get crazy and get emotional and in your feelings. Because some people
Right.
get like that. And I don't like to have those conversations. You feel me? Because I'm not a voter. So like, why should I tell you? It was just what was on TV in the break room, and everybody was talking about it. This was like in the beginning when he first started saying he was going to become president again and shit. This guy went crazy. He was like arguing with me. Like, bro, I'm not even arguing with you. I'm just telling you that those people that's your friends and those, minorities that you say is going to vote for this lady is lying. Because when it comes down to it, they going to vote for that man.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Those people in the hood that talk all this racism, they voted for him. Because what they want that money. They all about what they could get, what they could gain.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Just want to get us ahead. Yeah, man. Absolutely.
It is what it is, bro.
Yeah, man. Do you think now that with most of minorities voting for Republicans, before it used to be so divided, like in the 90s, it was like, Latinos and blacks, Democrats, white and rich, Republicans. Now that we see that the majority of minorities also voted Republican, do you think that this is also a changing course into what for the future? Like, like it's really like not, it's not the same what it used to be. It's really about one side or another now.
Nah, it's definitely a change because of the fact that we're in a time where everybody wants to have their own business. Everybody wants to own their own. Where
Right.
to oppose where when we was growing up, what we was told: get a job, go to school, get a job, work hard. You know what I'm saying? Work, work, work. Put those overtimes in. That's what we was taught to go to school. But now these kids and this technology is different. It's like you got kids that's millionaires now because they're doing some type of business online or they're doing some type of drop shipping thing or reselling sneakers or whatever. Like it's in the point where it's in a day and age where we live that everybody wants to be their own boss. Everybody wants to have their own business. You know what I'm saying? So what they doing researches on these billionaires before Trump was president. You know what I'm saying? They doing research on, you know what I'm saying, all these millionaires, Elon Musk and, Bill Gates and all them, you know what I'm saying? They want to be like them, bro.
You like them?
Nobody want to work a 9 to 5 no more.
No, nah,
We
man.
got more people owning their business now than we got
Never
working.
before. Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Big time.
But at the end of the day, like I always say, like why go put 50, 60 hours in to make somebody else rich when you can put 30 hours
Right.
to make yourself rich?
Yeah, no, that's a whole
You just
fact.
gotta stay. You just gotta stay with it. Like the problem is with us people, not minorities, not a certain race, people in general. We get lazy. We start something and we don't finish it. You know what I'm saying? And if you want something as bad, or like the people that, if you work for a big company and your boss, the reason why he is the boss is because he started something, didn't stop until he got what he wanted. And that's just basically what it is. When Steve Jobs started Apple, like he seen a vision and he kept on going until it is what it is today. Elon Musk, he started something and now he just keeps going. These are people
Right,
that don't stop. They're not lazy. They don't start
right,
something and don't finish. Like they start to finish, and they start to
right,
continue. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing. Like when you start something, it's to continue the legacy on, to keep going, to leave for your children, to keep going to something better and better. It's not to start to end. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just I feel like as people we lazy, man. Like I've gotten to the point. Like I've had a successful business. I was living off of my business at one point, chilling. You know what I'm saying? And then you get sometimes as people we get lazy. And I've been up and I've been down, and
yeah,
I got the knowledge that I know I could take me far. But you just got to stay focused and you got to want to do it. You know, some people are comfortable with just saying, fuck it, I'm going to go sit at this desk every day and work to 5 and punch out and go home and live my best life on the weekends and do it all again on Monday. I don't want to do that shit, man.
yeah. I'm getting tired of doing that shit, to be honest.
Right, bro.
And it's true. It definitely stems from what you're raised up on, and we definitely raised up to be a harder worker instead of a smarter worker. You know what I mean? And not to be a worker, but to be a boss. And you got to have that boss mentality. Especially to live in this world. And it's true. That's where it is now. Talking about the Elon Musk and all of them. Just to wrap this part up, but Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Larry Ellison, and Larry Ellison all got richer after Trump became president. All got, yeah, you know what I mean. So it's a rich man's world. You know what I mean, and we just living in it, and we got to step in and step it up, and get our money up.
The fact, if y'all have never read the book, if y'all in this chat and y'all have never read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Definitely go read that book. That will
Oh
change
yes,
my mindset on everything. It changed
yes,
mine.
yeah.
Tell you
My
that.
dad, my dad preached about that book. Never read it, but he carried that book everywhere with him. I got to really get my hands on that book and read that joint.
Yo, cause
'Cause that book is way old too. That joint's still right, and it
that
drops
book
gems. Yeah.
changed my perspective on everything. Like I wish I read that book at a younger age.
Okay.
Not recently, just read that like 2 years ago. And I
Okay.
read it and I
Okay.
was just like, since then I've been like, damn, I wish I had this book before because like, even though I was doing me and I was had my business and all that, I think I would have ran it a little different. I would have been better off.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Got you. Got you. No, that's a good suggestion. We definitely won't pick that up. So let me just fix this. Got this saying the live will end in a few minutes. Yeah, man, that was a good. That was really good topic to bring up though. In terms of business and all that for the state of America, and hopefully we get to a better place and all that. Want to wrap up the show with talking about. I sent you that video on Dat Piff of the owner of Dat Piff and him talking about him ended up selling the company, which I never even knew he did. Not to because everyone's kind of like in the shadows until they pop up. But
Mm-hmm.
the video is pretty much explaining what happened to him and like nothing bad, but the ended up being sold to a few different owners, and then he was like a part owner or something, and then they kind of took it and ran with it.
Yeah, they
And
fucked
he
it all up. That's what happened.
they fucked it all up, and that
They
was
fucked it all
and
up.
that was before real time. That was before streaming, right? Like in terms of like where streaming is at now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's he kind of hinted at him wanting to do that again, but would it be the same? You know what I mean? Like because where we're at now, at that point where he first came out, that was something that no one was doing, whereas now everybody's doing it. Jay-Z got his own streaming.
Yeah. I
Apple.
think it would just be considered a streaming site only
Yeah.
because I don't know. Like I feel like then it was big because it was mixtapes, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't only. Maybe it would be good more for DJs because you had a lot of everything up there. You had mixtapes, you had DJs putting out blends and different things. You know what I'm saying, like that.
Right.
So like maybe it would be good in that aspect for like DJs across the world to get their thing.
Right.
But then again, I don't know because you got platforms like these where DJs are doing their thing, spinning on live. You know what I'm saying? Doing all these blends and things like that. So like. For me, back then, Dat Piff was L because when I was heavy doing the music thing, like I used Dat Piff a lot. I had a lot of mixtapes on Dat Piff. I every time I dropped a mixtape, I would upload it on Dat Piff, and I would then post the link, on my social media, which was MySpace and Facebook at the time and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I would get my music across to people, but they could go to Dat Piff and listen. And it was free.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. It was free. To get your music now on these other platforms, you know what I'm saying, you have to pay. Whether it's, DistroKid or United Masters and things like that. You have to pay those sites to then go push your shit to like Spotify and YouTube and Apple Music, Google Music, and Tidal and all those other streaming platforms. So I don't know how it will work this time around. If he's if he was to do it and he will let it be free again, like how will people get paid off of it? How would it work? So it's good. Right. It's definitely good to see if he's gonna do it. He's definitely legendary for Dat Piff because I know a lot of artists that use Dat Piff. Shit, like it's crazy because I had a mixtape on there that I did with one of my boys from Miami. That was named from Miami to New York, and I wanted to actually download it. And when I went to thatpiff.com. It's a whole nother site now, and I have like only like two. I have two mixtapes that's still up there, but that one is.
Wow, that's crazy.
So now it's like, damn. Now maybe I have to reach out to the guy that we did the studio that we use to see if he still has all the recordings. See the same. Because actually was an L. I just wanted to hear. You know when you just want to hear something.
Just say yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. Yeah. Like, I don't have like I have most of my catalog of like old shit. But then there's shit that I was like I know that was fire that I did that I don't have. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, that I just want to have.
Yeah, I lost so much music, and I think the last mixtape I put out was the joint that your brother Kenneth got on one of my joints for. That we did a song together, and he killed that joint. And I was using SoundCloud. This was like 2000. Bro, this had to be, man, this was a while ago, bro. This was like maybe 2013, 2014. I think, bro. That's how far along it was. But I put like my heart and soul into that. Like I swear that joint was an album. And I think I could finally, you could probably still hear that stuff. I think if you look under J Morals on it, but
those platforms pretty good for like having the music still. But that's another thing too. Like there's so much shit, bro. There's so much SoundCloud. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now they got this. Have you ever heard of BandLab?
No.
All right, so BandLab. So I came across this shit one time, like when I put my last EP out, the Years of Menace. I was looking for something on my phone just to like record like my bars because I wanted to record myself to see how I sounded before I hit the studio. Because I don't like to go to the studio and waste time and money. That's one thing. That's how I always been. Like if I'm paying for this shit, I want to go in and at least knock like 3 or 4 tracks down. You feel me? I don't want to waste time. So I came across this app called BandLab where it's like a fucking studio in your pocket. Okay. And I will pre-record everything on there and then just go like listen to myself in the studio and then spit it the same way type shit. But with BandLab, they kind of like upgraded where now you could like actually do like it's basically like another fucking what's that? Pro Tools and all that, GarageBand, everything. Like you can actually record songs. You could put, your ad-libs in, everything. Your music, everything, bro. And then what's cool about it is that you can connect with other artists. Like you have a feed where you can connect with other people that's using BandLab, and it's like artists, it's producers, you know what I'm saying, singers, everything, bro. It's so dope, bro. It's so dope. So that's another platform that people are on now too, where you can fucking record it right there, put it out right there, have other people, like your shit, everything. It's like an all-in-one type thing.
Oh shit! Shoot, all these new things.
I don't know how it would play to bring back, DatPiff, but DatPiff was definitely in that time legendary for anybody that was doing underground mixtapes in the street. Because at that time when DatPiff came out, it was kind of like we was going from like CDs into the first iPod type deal, where we was getting into the what they call the MP3s and all that, and the different streaming devices where you could, they was kind of we were stirring away from the CDs and everything was starting to become digital. You know what I'm saying? So he was heavy with that. That was the great thing because it was like boom, like you had that first iPod. You know what I'm saying? The first touchscreen one where you could go online and shit. Boom, I had that shit right on my iPod. And I was just listening to DatPiff all day, you know what I'm saying? Before they had Apple Music and all that shit. I don't even think with the first iPod that they had Apple Music yet. You know what I'm saying?
Like, cause remember I remember it was the Apple Store, but you had to purchase it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then
you'll get
and you'll just have the exclusive. Like if you could pay for the album. You could
buy songs, you could buy albums, but you didn't. They didn't have like a membership how they do now, where you could get downloads and shit and everything like that.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, I used to be heavy, like when Apple Music first popped off, I was like heavy on that to like find out that I could just get most of those songs for free. You know what I mean? But I was always kind of like, oh, let me support the artist type thing, you know what I mean? And then I started.
Honestly, I still use App. I still got my same Apple account, bro, since I started.
Me
Like, I don't
too.
know, I'm an Apple fan. Like, I got a
Me too.
MacBook. I got
Me too.
I
Yeah.
got Apple products. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love Apple. Like, before Apple, I was heavy on the Samsung, but I just like Samsung for their TVs, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
TVs are popping.
I don't
Yeah.
really care for the
Right.
phones and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know,
It's the same way.
I'm
I'm the
definitely an
same
Apple
way.
person. I don't like green messages. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like how people say I don't like green messages and shit.
I know.
You know?
If you see my message is green, I'm going through it. You know what I mean?
Nah, it's still not there, right? That's what everybody. Nah, it be like that, bro. Definitely.
Yeah, man. For real.
It
Yeah,
definitely
man.
be like that. Nah, but yeah, that Piff was definitely legendary for that time. Him bringing it out now, I don't know, man. I don't know how well would it do.
Yeah, I don't think it'll last long
It's
now,
too
and
many.
just yeah. And now there's just now it's almost the reverse now. Now physical music's getting more popular now. Where I just read the other day, Eminem had another milestone, selling more vinyls for his latest LP in the UK. He sold a lot of vinyls because vinyl is big now. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like it's crazy. History almost repeats itself, but people now want the physical stuff. So he might even go back to CDs after a while. You know what I mean? Like, which is crazy.
It'd be crazy walking around with a big ass Walkman on your
Right.
side. And shit.
Yeah, CD player, right? That'll be funny.
Crazy.
That'll be funny.
A Bluetooth
Yeah,
CD
man.
player.
Yeah. Oh, right. Shoot.
Let's write it down.
I
Let's
seen
write it down. Don't steal my
boombox.
ideas.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Don't tell everyone. But yeah, nah, yeah, that was, the thing with music is that it's always evolving, and even today, man, I almost brought out my beat machine, but I ain't gonna front, I got a little bit lazy. It's just because it takes a lot of energy for me to just, get into the mood. Because but if I get on my beat machine, I'm in it for like 5-6 hours. You know what I mean? And I knew I had stuff to do today, even though it was my off day, and I was just like, nah, I didn't want to risk it, but thinking about taking it out tomorrow and just making some beats again because I'm just getting that bug again. I feel like there's been some new music I've been listening to, like Ab Soul dropped something that I was listening to this morning while cooking breakfast. That he was like just feeling like lyrics is coming back now. Like we were just talking about this with the whole Diddy thing. Like there's going to be that renaissance of music. You know what I mean? And trying to get the bug again a bit. I'm not going to front, but I just want to do it differently this time. Kind of stay in the background.
Nah,
Just have fun, music is awesome.
That's a whole thing. I love music, man. I've never stopped loving music. Dealing with music got me through a lot of hard times. You feel me? For sure. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like with this whole thing I do on Fridays with the little, the live parties and shit that I do. Like I've been fucking around with the DJing and shit. So now I'm on the fence if I want to buy a little mixer because I'll be fucking with it and I'll put mixes together and shit. Like I write my list down on what goes good with this and I mix it up. And it be all me. These last 3 parties I did has been all me. The transitions and everything. But I'm hearing like it's easier to do it with the actual mixer itself. So I was looking on Amazon. I caught myself looking on Amazon the other night. Not a crazy expensive one. They got some decent price ones and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some beginner type shit.
That'll be hell yeah, man. Why not? 'Cause it's all, it's all within the family of music anyway. So, you end up evolving and doing something into something else, so that'll be great, I always wanted to be a DJ when I was young. They even had a school in Manhattan where you could learn how to be a DJ, and I wanted to do that joint so bad, and I always slept on it, never did it, but I would love to learn how to scratch and all that.
Yeah,
oh my
bro,
God.
I'll be watching YouTube videos thinking like, yo, I'm about to be going crazy on these parties.
Hey, they make that joint look kind of, like that was fun.
Like, what? Stop playing with me. You better book me now before I get hot. Word.
Nah, man, heck yeah, man. But yo, this was definitely a good episode. Feel like we covered a lot of main topics and man, it flew by too.
That's a
and we
fact.
was already, yeah, it flew by, man. We really got into it. So just want to say thank you. Thank you for everyone participating this time. We had some good feedback too from your end. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And we're gonna come back next Sunday, same time, same channel, 4 o'clock, for episode number 8. So we're gonna make it a good
episode number 8, and just remember now that we got the YouTube channel. You know, Let's Chat About It podcast. You know, whenever y'all miss the lives, y'all could definitely go there. I'm gonna be uploading a few more episodes this week up there. It's only 1 episode right now, but I'm gonna get some more episodes up this week. And yeah, y'all can catch the episodes that y'all miss. Y'all can like, comment, and share on those, share them out. You know what I'm saying? So, because we know that everybody has a life, and you know, sometimes Sundays be those days where people just want to get out with the family, and it's okay. Because if you miss the live, you can catch the YouTube.
That's right. That's right. Nah, thank you for hooking that up too. It looks really great. Cuzzo did some really great work on it already. When Wifey showed me, I was like, damn. I was like, you like wild professional with that, with all the, you know, the editing, bro. You really good at that.
I told you, bro, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it to perfection. Like, I'm not gonna just half-ass it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man.
I take our time on here very seriously. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people, you know, I came to you with this idea because I felt like you was the right person. You know what I'm saying? And I know at first you was like, I don't know, like maybe, let's see. And then we did our first episode, and he was like, yo, Cuzzo, what up? We doing it the same time next week?
Yeah,
We kept on going, you feel me? And it's been great, you know? But, yeah, man, I appreciate you, like always, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, all your hard work, so thank you, bro.
For sure. Everybody, you know, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all coming in, chatting with us, and tuning in and tapping that screen. And I hope everybody have a safe and blessed week. And hey, y'all be easy out there.
You too, man. Cuzzo, love you. Be safe, man. Tell the family my love. And
likewise. You already know, bro. I'm gonna chat with you
later. Peace.